You are all welcome. I'm delighted today to show you how you can insert table into your document. And note, today's video will not be limited to only inserting table into the document. You will learn so many things that you can do with the table. You will learn how you can format the table to make the table nice looking. You will learn how you can set various table properties. And if you will be able to stay till the end of this video, you will learn so many important things that you can do with the table, such as sorting the data you have in the table, using formula in the table, setting cell margin of the table. In fact, you will learn how you can even convert the table to text and convert text to table. You will learn how you can do various calculations in table. So please stay tuned till the end of this video, because you have so many things to learn from today's video. Also, I want to use this time to tell you that you can share this video to your friends, and very important, subscribe to this channel because more videos are coming your way. And like this video, share it with your friends, invite them to this channel. By so doing, you are also helping them to learn a lot, as they are also undergoing their training on how to use computer effectively. Please don't go away, continue watching. You want to learn so many things from this video. Let's get into the practical aspects of this video.
Okay, let's insert a table into this document now. I click insert and go to table. Click table. You can use here and specify the number of columns and rows that you want to insert into the document. For instance, right now I have 4 by 5. 4 by 5 here means a table with 4 columns, 5 rows. If I click, that table will appear on the screen as you see now. This is the table. Yes. But you can use other methods to insert tables, especially if the table is more than maybe 10 columns and 10 rows. That means you have to use another method to insert such a table. Let's take for instance a table with 15 columns and maybe 12 rows. You click table, then go to insert. Insert will now prompt insert table dialog box, whereby you specify the number of columns. As we mentioned, we take 15, and number of rows we take 12. But also from here, observe other autofit behavior of this table, such as 6 column width, autofit content, and autofit to window. If you want to change any autofit behavior, you can use here to check it. I wish you will practice these things so as to really know what they stand for. Then for this practical, I will click on OK. You now see this table we are having now. That is the table of 15 columns and 12 rows. Column 1, 2. Actually, we are not going to use this complicated table for this practical. We want to use very simple table. So I delete this one again. Click insert, table, and you can also draw table. Yes, you can draw table. Click draw table. It will give you a pencil that you can use and draw table. Then you cross lines, you draw lines, draw lines, draw lines, cross it. That's still another way of having a table into your document. Yes, let's assume you are through with it. You drop the tool here, draw table, you click it here. Then it will drop the draw table tool. Once again, I delete this table. Insert table. Let's take table with 3 columns, 2 rows. We will see how we can increase the rows without even putting it here. I click OK. So that is table with 3 columns, 2 rows. Let's assume you want to go to the market, then you want to prepare small list that you will go with as you are going to the market. Maybe you say serial number, and then get to items, get to maybe amount. Yes. Then you now start to list those items. Note that once you are in the very last cell of a table and you press Tab key on the keyboard, you are creating a new row. See where my cursor is blinking now? It's blinking here. Once I press Tab key, note another thing that Tab key will do within the table. Tab key will move from one cell to another, from one cell to another. Then once it gets to the last cell within the table, if you press Tab key again, it now adds another row to that table. See now. I'm trying to put data into the table so that we will use the data for something else. Okay, let me stop this and then put this out here. We will not put the answer. We will use the answer for another practical. Within this table, 6 things that you can do. For instance, now you will notice that by the time you start typing this thing, you did not give this table a caption. If you want to insert the caption now, that's the title for this table, you will notice that you don't have space here to type, and you don't even have a place to place your cursor for you to type the caption. Please, if that happens to you, position your pointer, your cursor, before the very first letter in the table, in the first cell of the table. In this case, S here is where I position the cursor. Then I press Enter key on the keyboard. It now creates a place that I can use and type the text. Let's assume this is the caption for this table. This is the caption for this table. Also, notice that as you type, everything aligned within the cell to the left side of the cell. You can work on it. And also, notice that the column width, that means from here now, from this line to this line, is the column width. They are too much for the data we are having here. There is need for you to reduce the column width so as to make the table portable. See the 2 ways that you can use to achieve that. 1. Be within this line. When the cursor turns to a 2-headed arrow that one faces the left and one faces the right, then click on it, hold it down, drag it, you are reducing the column width. And 2, come up where you have this your ruler, up here, come up here. You now see that you have what we call move table column. It is there you click your mouse and hold it, then drag it to where you want it to stop. Move column here. Move table column here. You click on it, drag it. Actually, you can still expand or reduce the column width using the layout tab on the screen. This layout tab. And take note of this. Once you insert a table into Microsoft Word, there are 2 new tabs that will pop up. Design tab, which is this one here, Design tab and Layout tab. You will see how we can undergo training on how to handle these two tabs effectively. But for now, I want to show you the best way that you can use as to change the width of the column width, which is this one now. From this line to this line, the column width. You can come to where you have cell size and then change width. You can increase it by here. You can decrease it by here. See where my cursor is width. Where you have width here, you can increase it and decrease it. And take note of this height. Height here has something to do with row height. That means the line between each row. You can either use here to expand. Let your mouse pointer be in the line. Then you drag down. You can use that to expand. Or you can come here and then expand it. Or third method, you can come to where you have height, because that's the table row height. Then you can increase here or decrease. Then now, let's see how you can highlight this table and the contents of the table. One, we have what we call table handle here. To click the table handle, it will highlight the table. And note, it will highlight the entire table. Or you can highlight the text by clicking and dragging. It will highlight the text. Or if you stand beside it outside the table, you can click and drag down. The table will get highlighted. Now I want to show you how you can, one, centralize text within this table. This is what I mean. You highlight the text and then press Ctrl E on the keyboard. See how it centralizes the text. Or if you want to centralize the table itself, you will notice now that the table is on the left hand side of the screen. If you want to centralize the table itself, you click the table handle and then press Ctrl E on the keyboard here. It moves the table from where the table was to a new location. Let's undo. That's where the table is located now. Take note of this here. You can also bold the heading of this table. You can bold it. You can make it all capital. Yes. You are trying to format the table now. But before we go further, let's go back to the Design tab and the Layout tab so that we take one thing at a time. First, the Design tab. What are the things that you can do within the Design tab here? We will not touch anything pertaining to table style options. That one will be particularly for the different day practical. But we will touch table styles, highlight the table, and then apply any style of your choice to the table. That's how the table now looks like. Highlight the table, click on, you have various styles here. Then you can select any one of your own choice. Any one of your choice you select, and that's how the table looks like. We call it table style. We have various table styles here. Click here to go up, click here to come down, or see more of the styles that you have. So, but for this practical, we will use this first one, table click, as the table styles for this practical. You can apply your own. The second thing next that we want to see now is shading. What can you use shading here for? See shading. Highlight the portion of the table that you want to shade. Then apply a different color to shade that portion of the table. See now, we have applied shading to it. You can highlight a certain cell and then apply shade. Shading there will attach a color to the highlighted portion of the table. let's get to something else. Borders. This table we are using has borders. What are we referring to by borders here? It's just the lines within this table. That's the borders we are referring to right now. Then you can do away with the borders that you don't need the border. Then click where you have borders here and you have no border. Then click. Then note, the table is still well arranged. Yes, the table is still well arranged. It does not scatter. It is only that those lines are not there to do. But if you need the lines, or you need only the outside line for the table, you click on outside borders. In this case, it is only the outside line that you have within the table. But if you need all the lines to show, you now take all borders. You now see you have applied all borders to the table. And note, by default, once you insert a table, it comes with all borders. But you can change the table style so that the border will appear. Let's get to something else. We have just draw table option before, when we did not pick it from here. Let's pick draw table here. And from draw table here, we will apply other options like the pen color and other things. See the table I'm drawing now. It's a new table. Which again, it's a new table. Yes. But take note, if you come to this line style and select a style of your own choice before you start drawing, that is the style for the line that you have selected, and that is how it will look like. You draw the table. Yes. But note, you can also add color to the line. But before you do that, you have to still first of all click the color before you start to draw the table. I mean, if you want to change the line color as you are drawing it, pick the draw tool, draw table tool, come to the color, select the color first before you now draw, so that the new color that you draw will take effect. That's it. How you can draw a table with a particular color. Yes. Now let's apply eraser to this table. Click eraser, then go to a particular portion that you want to delete within the table. Click on it. It will now delete. If you want to delete this one also, click on. See this line. Total. Total is not limited to this serial number. It can expand to this item, so you can delete this small line here. Now see, and then centralize total. There's a different way that you can use so as to delete a particular portion in a table. Yes. Let's still stay in touch with some other things. Now we now move to layout tab, which is the second contextual menu for this table. There are so many tabs that you can perform. You have so many things to do with layout tab, but we want to take it one after another so that what we are doing can be beneficial to you. I'll click the table, then I have layout tab active now. Then let's start sorting one thing after another so that we see how you can use it. First thing that you have is select. Select means to highlight. This select will enable you to 1. Highlight the current cells you are, highlight a particular row, highlight a particular column, or you can highlight the entire table. For instance now, see where your cursor is blinking. The cursor is blinking within the serial number cell, which is S number. Cursor is blinking there. Now, if you click select and you say select cell, it is only that cell which is highlighted. And if you say select column, you notice that the entire column will get highlighted, And if you say select row, I am selecting table now. Select row. Select row. It is the row that only one row will, or you select the entire table. The table will get highlighted. Then, if you click on the table property, you now see that it prompts table property that you can see various properties for this table, whereby you can use it to adjust certain things within the table. We call it table properties. And below it you have table options, which we will still come to this as we are moving. So let's continue. Now, what next option are we to choose? The next option is now delete. Delete table. You can delete several things within this table. You can delete the column, you can delete the row, and you can delete the entire table. Delete cells. That means the highlighted cells will be deleted. If you highlight a particular column, it is the column that will be deleted. Let me highlight this column and click on delete columns. You will notice that it is only that particular column is deleted. Yes, I undo it. And if you highlight a certain cell or row and click delete row, you will notice it is only that row is deleted from the table. Then what next can you do? You have insert above, insert below. How can you use it? First, let's assume the cost is now blinking in the cell you have 200 and you want to create a new row below it before where you have the second item. Then you have to click on insert below. Note that insert above and below have something to do with rows. Below now will create a new cell below where the 200 was located. And now, if you now say within the cell that you have total and you want to add a new item, then there is no row, then you want to create a new row above it, then select click or insert above. A new row will be inserted above where the cursor was located. That's how to apply insert above, insert below. Let's now touch insert left and right. You note that left and right have something to do with the table column. Now we have 3 columns for this table: the serial number, the items, the amount. Yes, insert left. Based on where your cursor was blinking, you'll insert a column to the left hand side of where the cursor was blinking. For instance, now the column that the cursor is blinking now is make right. Yes. Now if you want to insert a new column before the column that you have item, that means you have to click insert left and it will attach a new column to the left. Or if you want to insert a new column to the right, you now say insert right. It now creates a new column for you now, whereby you can now write something like quantity. And if you want to still insert another column into the right, you can now still say insert right. Sorry, depending on where our cursor was. So if you are now in the column that has quantity, you now say insert right. You now see that you can now give you a place that you can now write unit right. Thereby you can now put some other things here to fill the table. Because you may insert a table and afterward you come to realize that there are some things or some columns or some items that you have to add within the table. So you have to know how to add more rows and how to add more columns to your table so as to have what you want. We are past with that one now. Now we get into merge. Merge cells means what? Means combining two cells or more cells together. First, you have to highlight the cells that you want to merge before you now say merge. Of course, check the screen well that merge here is inactive. The reason is this, that you have not highlighted anything. That means you have nothing to do at the moment. It is only when you highlight some cells that is when merge cells will be active. And once you click on it, you will notice that it is active. Yes. Let's get to something else. See, we have merged these cells now, and we can now say Ctrl E for total to make it centralized. We have centralized total now because the old place here belongs to total. The next thing is for amount here, which we will still have in figure. But we are not using calculator. We want to use this Microsoft Office Word and see how we can achieve that. Then we now get into split cells. Split cells here means a kind of inserting another table within a cell. Why am I saying this? If you click on insert cells, split cells, you will notice that it will prompt split cells ladder box. And what contains in the ladder box is that number of columns and number of rows. Whereas if you now specify that you want to insert 6 columns and maybe 4 rows into that particular cell and click on OK, you will now notice that that small cell will be enlarged, whereby you can now have all these other things, 6 columns and 4 rows within that particular cell. We call it split cell. That's how you can split cell. And you have split table. Split table. Split table here means dividing the table into 2. How do you know where to split and how it will take place? Take note, where your cursor is blinking. From that point your cursor is blinking, we'll take the new table and split the table from that point. The table now, in the table, cursor is blinking within the cell below. And now click split table. You now see that it is from where the cursor was blinking, will form, starting from here, will form a new table. Then you can carry the table away. That's how you can split a table, dividing it into 2. That's what it means. Here again we come here to AutoFit again. The various AutoFits we have discussed earlier when you were about to insert a table at the initial time. AutoFit to content, AutoFit to window, AutoFit to column width or fixed column width. We have 3. AutoFit content, AutoFit window, or fixed column width. You can use this. For instance, let me just highlight the table and click one of the options for you to see. AutoFit content. See how it automatically switch the table to. Without giving caps, it tries to make the text and the lines to fall within. The large column width is not applicable to AutoFit to content here because it will try to manage it so that between your lines and the text you don't have much space. So that's the. Then if you now say AutoFit window, it will try to span it across the window, thereby increasing the column width for each of the columns. And if you now say auto or fixed column width, it will still maintain the AutoFit window because it is now a fixed column for each of the columns. Let's touch something else. We have discussed this before, the height and the width. Now, let me do small thing within this table to show you how this order evenly distributes is working. Yes, look at this table very well now. You will notice that the column for items is larger than the column for quantity, and the column for unit price is the largest column in terms of column width here. Then now, if you now click highlight the table and say distribute columns, it means that you want to give a command that all the columns within the table should be equal. That is what it means. Once you click distribute columns, it tries to make all the columns to be equal, and that's what it means. See now, they are equal. Then now, check the table well. You will notice that the row that 2 is here is the largest row in this table, while other ones are small. But if you now want all the rows to be equal, then highlight the table and click on distribute rows. It will try to make sure that all the rows in the table are equal. Yes, let's proceed and see other things that we can do within the table. Now we come to where we have alignment here. This alignment has so many things here, because you can align top left, align top center, align top right. You can align to center top, center bottom, and center right here. And you can also align bottom left, align bottom center left. What does it mean? Before you click each of them, try to highlight a certain part of the table, then click centralize, click align right. But you may not notice any effects here. Why? We have auto fix to contents here. So if you want to observe the effect, expand the column width, and perhaps you may even expand the row height. Before you perform this, start to see how each of the effects will be applied. Then now let's start with align top left. Now see, the item is my focus now. Only this cell that you have item is my focus now because I'm highlighting it. Then you just say align top center and say align top right. Now see that the text is moving from left to right, from left to center to right. And also if you now say align center left, center right, or center and right, and bottom, these are how you can align text. Then also note that within the table you can change text direction. If you now highlight the region that you want to change text direction, you now say text direction. You will notice that it has changed the direction of the text now. See the amount, see the serial number, see the item, see quantity, unit price, the amount. You click on it, then see it has changed the way to align the text. It has changed the direction of the text. This time, starting from bottom up. You press it again, it now keep it on a horizontal format. Yes, these are various ways that you can change text direction within the table. Let's do some other things within the table. Cell matching. Let me use this column now to show you the effects of cell matching. How you can adjust cell matching. Notice from here now that this amount cannot enter one line. The reason is that the column width is not sufficient for the word amount to be able to enter one straight line. Then let's highlight it this table and go to cell margin. See the table options that I told you some minutes ago. You can adjust the left, adjust the right, and then click OK. You will see automatically the amount is now able to enter. This is how it is. Before you go to cell margin, let me shift it so that you can see that the amount is still placing into the second line. Then see where I'm adjusting. I adjust the left and the right. By clicking left, I decrease it and then decrease the right margin of the cell. We have the cell margin, the top, bottom, left and right. But for text to be able to enter within one line, adjust the left and the right so that it can accumulate the text and then say OK. Now see it has moved to one line. That is how you can use the cell margin here. Now let's sort some things in this table. Let's sort some things in this table. Let me delete certain parts from this table and then sort this table so that you can see something. First, highlight where you want to sort. In this table, the items start with rice, okra, peas and beans, and we want to say sort. Once we now click sort, we want to sort using column 1. And now as we use column 1, we are sorting text and we sort it in ascending order. Let's sort in ascending order now and say OK. You now see that it now starts with beans, fish, okra before rice. But if you highlight it again and then go to sort and then sort it in descending order, text, column 1, text, descending order, then you click on OK. You now see start with rice, okra, fish and beans. That is how you can sort data in a table. Yes. You notice that you can also convert the data you have in this table to become a text. First, highlight the table and go to convert to text. That means you are to give a command that this table should be converted to text. And once you click it, you now see that convert table to text dialog box appears, whereby you have to specify what you want to use to separate the text from each other. Now we want to take tab. Once you click tab here and click OK, the table is converted to text. As you can see now, the table is converted to text. No lines again. Let's see one other thing that we can do within this table. Using formula to calculate within the table. Position your cursor where you want your answer to appear before you start the process. In this case, my cursor is blinking here. This way I want the answer to appear. Then click formula and see that formula dialog box automatically appears, and it defaults here sum above. And actually you want to sum above. The next thing is for you to click OK, and it will provide the answer for you, which will act as total. Yes, that is total for you. I hope with the detail I have given in this lesson, and with the practice that you will keep on carrying out, will enable you to successfully handle any table work in Word document effectively. Thank you for watching this video to the end, and please once again subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends, invite them. Again, thank you very much and bye for now.